Earlier on today, Leviatán lost to Trace Esports in arguably one of the biggest upsets of the entire season, and Lev made one crucial mistake that I think really cost them this game. But it was before any of the game actually took place. It was before any shots were fired, because it was in this part of the game, the map veto. Because this is one of the craziest map veto decisions I think I've ever seen. Because here's the thing. Lev are picking second, right? So they're team B here, so they always pick second. And so it comes down to these last two choices, right? We've got Abyss and Ascent. Basically, Lev can choose to ban one, and then the other will be map 3, right? And they chose to ban Abyss and pick Ascent. And the thing is, you don't really need to dig too deep to understand why this is a very baffling decision. All you have to do, really, is take a look at Trace's maps throughout this entire season. So, for instance, here, they played Bind 11 times this season. They've won 5. They've lost 6, right? And just carry on until you find Ascent. Oh, look, Ascent. Oh, they're 7-0 on this map. Oh, that's not good. And if we take a look at the actual results, you'll see, oh, only one of them did the opponent even get to double digits, which was the other game that they played at Champs here, a 15-13 versus Vitality. Ooh. So that was one choice that we had, to play them on Ascent. Or the other choice was Abyss, which is a map that they have not won and lost 13-8 and 13-5 thus far. So when you just look at those numbers there, straight away you probably have a pretty decent feeling that, oh, Ascent is like their best map, and Abyss is a map that they have yet to ever win on. So maybe we shouldn't have picked the one that's their best map. And of course, a lot of you will be thinking at this point, well, okay, why did Lev pick it, right? They're not actively trying to throw. Like, what would be the reason for Leviatán picking Ascent? And I think it comes down to two main reasons. The first one of these reasons, I think, is a trap that so many VCT teams fall into, and is a real problem with how a lot of teams map veto, which is they just map veto for themselves, right? They just think, what is our best maps? We'll just go from that, right? And Lev have only played Abyss once, and they did win on it, you know, but perhaps they feel just for them, they're more comfortable with Ascent, so they'll just want to play Ascent more because they think it's slightly better than their Abyss, right? That's the first problem, and probably lent to the decision making somewhat. The second thing I think is often that the coaches are the ones who are, you know, leading these map vetoes, and I bet that Lev thought that Trace would pick Ascent because it is Trace's best map, right? So it would make sense for Trace to pick it. Therefore, Lev have probably done, you know, quite a bit of work in terms of anti-stratting and stuff like that on Trace's Ascent. Couple problems with that, though. One is that Trace are just playing the default Ascent comp anyway, so, you know, there's only really so much you can read into that because, you know how to play against that comp anyway. Even if there are some tendencies for Trace, you know, it's not like they're reinventing the wheel here, doing something crazy that has a clear exploit, because if it did, then this comp wouldn't exist anymore, right? So you're not going to find something massive from the anti-stratting, and also I think that the coach just personally probably feels like, I've put in this work to anti-stratting their Ascent, therefore we're going to play Ascent because I want to feel like my work is justified, whereas they may not nearly have done as much work on their Abyss because they probably didn't expect to have the choice of Abyss. But as you could tell by the scoreline, that was a monumental mistake, and really it did just come back to, maybe don't play a team on their clearly best map that they haven't lost the entire year if you have the choice, right? And really, it started with the problems for Lev in round number 2. Now, Lev are also playing this comp. It's the Deadlock comp. It's the Tier 2 NA Deadlock comp. This comp is dead. This comp should never, ever see the light of day again in Tier 1. Whatever Tier 2 NA team managed to, convince these Tier 1 NA teams that this comp could work at the highest level, congratulations, because you got them. You got Sentinels, now you've got Leviatán. This comp needs to die right now. And I know I made a video talking about Cypher Deadlock and how it's becoming meta. Well, not on this map, right? On other maps where you can have arrays playing with a Deadlock, yes, Trace proved that on the first map of Bind, finding a lot of Deadlock value. However, on this map, oh no, no, no. Oh no, 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 no. Right? It's done for. And let's just start off with what's going on here. So the thing is, you know, we're pressuring out towards a main. We're only against classics this round, but we've been stopped by a one-way and just a KO nade, right? And they get stopped and they decide instead, okay, we're going to do an A split and we're going to come down here and our Cypher is going to come back towards a main. And that's what they're deciding to do, even though, you know, there is potential here and Tex has to be careful because in theory these guys could be pushing behind because everyone has just left it, so not great to start off with. But here's the next thing with this comp, right? We've got all these guys grouped up, but of course with this comp we have only one flash, right? This Omen flash simply must find value. Okay, in this comp, that Omen Flash has to be good, has to be used at the right time, must find value, because you don't really have too many other tools to really propel you forward safely.
On if they can get anything from this crossfire. The thing is, you expect there to be some counter utility. Paranoia is solid. It did catch one. Okay, that's not bad. At least a kill going their way. In fact, the second is there as well. Aspas, though, puts a pin in it. He's going to try and deny anything more, and even still, they managed a third kill.
2 versus 2, not a bad situation for Trace to find themselves in, but the door closed, blocks out a player. Kai up in heaven, not even punished for the kill. Now Calm surrounded, and he can only get one. It's classics! They might not win.
I don't know what this is from Lev at the beginning here. I don't know if this is just cockiness from King or what this is, but he decides to not use his Omen Flash as they're coming through here, right? And they rightfully get punished. And the great irony from this is that Lure King is going to send his Omen Flash, and it's going to destroy Lev. Right? So King never gets to use his because he's going to die first here, whilst the other Omen Flash absolutely destroys them. It separates Mazzino from the rest of the team so that he dies as well. Okay, Aspas gets a nice couple kills there from dashing forward, but then it's just really well played, particularly the 2v2 here from, and especially the 2v1 as well. I really like how they play it, and Aspas, you know, puts himself in a position where he's not out in a great spot. He dies just there, and then this is really well played by Kai, leaving, waiting for his killjoy to come to him, swinging at the same time. Impossible for Com to win pretty much there. And they lost this crucial second round. And one thing that I kind of mentioned there with the Omen Flash, but now I'll explain a bit more detail, is that when we're playing this comp, we need to be very efficient, right? Like, we don't have a ton of go buttons, as I said, so any util that we do use, you know, needs to be somewhat efficient. We need to find good value from the util that we do have, and I don't think that Leviatán did a very good job of that at all, right? Like, for instance, in this round, you know, the Cypher stuff is going to get destroyed, you know, without really finding too much value. They do come and take A main with, like, a Deadlock Graphnet and a Sonic Sensor here, so, you know, that's fine, and they come and grab this ult up for Aspas as well. So, okay, that's fine, but too often, there was kind of, you know, these problems that they had of not being efficient, and we'll show that in the next round especially as well. But particularly in this one, you're going to also see how easy it can be sometimes to just stop this comp, you know, dead in its tracks, as we'll see in this one. Because what Lev are going to try and do here, which is a perfectly fine idea, right? They've come and taken A main. Now they're going to threaten like they're doing a B split, although this dart doesn't scan anyone, I don't think. So, you know, they're perhaps less threatened about that, but they're going to destroy the turret that you just saw, and then we're actually going to throw the deadlock wall as well, right? So we're really trying to sell like B split vibes, right? That we're coming through market, and that's what we're going to do, and this wall potentially is going to help sell that as well. Personally, I don't think that this is a good wall. Even if we were trying to fake it, I think actually the wall that you throw over the top that goes like this would be much better for you, right? In either if you're faking this or if you're not faking this, right? If you are faking this, then this wall is good because it does mean that if these guys come back here, you know, they actually have to destroy it to rotate, right? So it's going to take the rotates a bit longer, so it gets you a bit more value there. But even if it was real as well, right, it would also help in terms of stopping those rotates and make it much more risky for Trace in terms of how they actually wanted to play it without being mega delayed, right? So I don't even think they picked the right wall there. But now what you're about to see is that if this comp, if you run into the wrong bit of utility at the wrong time, you will get absolutely destroyed.
In mind, no command is available. This ultimate could be gone. In fact, not even needed. It's going to be the knife that does it instead. You'd think this would hold to them, but it doesn't. Instead, it's the swing. Hebe goes out. Already, they know all the information. They haven't spotted Low King either. And now it leaves everything onto Tex. He doesn't have a lot of time. And they know exactly where he is.
Well, his teammate's gone, and he has closed the door with the spike on the other side. He knows he doesn't have time to win this, but oh no!
But then the final round I'm going to show you, which is round 11, this one's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. There's no other word for it, right? We're going to talk about everything from inefficiencies to just, you know, absolute melons. It's horrible. This round is horrible. You will want to, you know, gouge your eyes out after watching this one because it's really that bad. They're already 8-2 down at this point, so you can understand that the vibes are probably pretty low. Perhaps probably thinking they should be playing on Abyss at this point. But what we're going to see from them, again, is just a bit of indecision. They don't know what to do. They come and take A main, they get A main. You know, we got those Cypher, you know, dallying around in B main, they're going to have some success there as well. They come out towards mid. They want to do a mid split, which makes sense because, again, if they all try and just run down a main, any bit of utility, any Omen Flash, any KO Nade, any, you know, whatever, as Nanoswarm, it's going to destroy them straight away. So they don't want to do that either. So they come towards mid, makes sense. And actually, it looks like they want to go for a mid fight here, do Trace, right? You can see them kind of angling for this mid fight, and they go for their Omen Flash just here as well. But now we've got 40 seconds left. We've got A main, we got B main, but we don't know what to do, right? And you're going to see that. We don't know what to do, and I'm going to talk about inefficiency here in a second as well, because we're going to fake like we're doing an A hit, so we're going to see the Deadlock Wall comes in here. We got the Omen Flash in here as well that you just see going up across A as well. Right, it baits out a KO knife, but that KO knife only spots one guy. So maybe they're a bit suspicious. But now at this point, there's 21 seconds left, right? And it's like, was this a fake? Because Espers is still kind of around. Then they didn't ever destroy this alarm bot, so it goes off as well. So now we get both Omens ulting in towards B. And it's just horrible.
EP from both sides. That's going to put another player in the boathouse. 10 seconds. They haven't even got close. They've got to get past an Odin. This is looking messy. They need to go right now, and they're going to get slaughtered. It has to be the plan. They have this happen. In fact, I think he let go. I don't know if he's going to get this one. It doesn't even matter. It's absolutely ridiculous. Leviatán are falling flat on their face.
Yeah, so two things for me from this game overall then. One is I think that Deadlock comp is kind of dead, right? I really do. There's just no way that Deadlock is better than KO on Ascent. Hot take, I know. Second thing is the don't troll map vetoes, right? When a team has a 100% win rate across the entire season and most of those games weren't even that close, maybe trust that they're just good at that map, and maybe you want to play them on a map that they are yet to win,